Okay, so I'm cleansing my cards. About to give you a reading. I'm using my Angel Answers, and I'm using my Moonology deck. My two favorites. Of course, when I started, this fucker back here wanted to start cutting grass. I apologize, but we still gonna get into it. We got energy coming out. Energy coming out. Okay. Oh, we got hella energy coming out. And you glad I fuck with you heavy, because I would not keep all these cards, but I'm gonna keep them for you. Okay? Okay. Look for a sign. Do not stop. You are ready. Within the next few months, communicate clearly. Okay? Alright, baby. Forgiveness is the overall energy. Have forgiveness in your heart. Feeling like have forgiveness towards someone. Maybe they've wronged you. Maybe you feel like they've wronged you and they don't quite know that they actually did that. Sometimes you still have to practice forgiveness for ignorance. Saying. There's something you've been working towards. And this was in regards to love, so we're going to treat it as such. I feel like God, Source, and Spirit came through and they offered a tower moment. Upending everything it is that you were originally working towards, whatever it is that you were looking at. They were calling your attention to something. But it was made, the situation was created to redirect you, or redirect your energy or your attention into something it is that you're supposed to be moving towards. I just see that gentleman blowing the trumpet as like guiding you in a direction. A divinely, thunder and lightning, divinely guided in a direction that you're supposed to be moving into. I'm feeling like you're ready to receive this abundance. Whatever inner work it is that you've been doing, whatever clarity it is that you've been trying to get, I feel like you've taken a little bit of time to go within. Maybe not a lot, but you've removed or stepped back from the situation enough where you realize what it is that you want, what it is that you don't want, what it is, the path it is that you want to take towards what it is that you want. And at this point, because you've recognized that, because you've called, I feel like this is you calling in what it is that you want, drawing attention to what it is that you want, and like, I don't know why I want to say sloughing away, like washing away the shit it is that you do not want. But you're calling it in. You're ready to receive that. And you haven't received it yet, it's coming within the next few months. I feel like it's coming before the end of the year, that you're on this path. Like you've been walking, you feel like, oh my God, this is a long ass fucking road. But you're on your way to maximum abundance. You're on your way to what it is you've been manifesting. You're on your way to what it is that you want. But you have to communicate clearly. You have to communicate. You have to actually verbalize. You actually have to tell the party, whoever it is that you are trying to call in, whoever it is that you're dealing with, you have to let them know what it is that you do and you don't want, what it is you will and you will not accept. And the people that aren't trying to fall in line with what it is the path that you're on that aren't going to complement what it is that you're working towards, that is the energy of softening it away. That is the creating the boundaries. I love that. I feel like it's not even necessarily you having to create boundaries. I feel like you are so solid in your self-understanding, your self-assuring. The fact that you've already gone within and you are at one with what it is that you do want. This is the protection. It's protecting your aura. You see it? Maybe you have ancestors working on your end. Maybe that, you've been manifesting certain things. But what's meant for you is going to be for you. And the protection is real. The guidance is real. Whoever it is that you've called upon. Like that shit. But it's because you have forgiveness in your heart. It's because you haven't immediately just cut people out of your life. You was like, yeah, no, I understand that you may not have got it this time or the next time, but I'm gonna give you one more chance. But once you give that one more chance, that needs to be your boundary. It needs to be your boundary, so that way people know that you grant them the opportunity. You are free enough with your forgiveness to say, you know what, I recognize the fact that we're not all perfect. We are all imperfect people. But we do make mistakes and we have the chance to get it right sometimes. But once you exercise that, once you grant that to somebody, once you practice that forgiveness, at that point, you then put up your boundaries and you say, you know what, I gave you opportunity. People will show you who they are. And so when they do, you believe them. And these people will be cut away in the near future. With the art of letting go. And maybe it's a situation where you feel like you're bound to this person. Maybe you feel like you owe to that situation to say, well, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't just cut you out just yet. Maybe that's me being a little bit too harsh. But sometimes the art of letting go is what frees you. It keeps you not bound to a situation. It allows you the opportunity to call new energy in. So sometimes that's what you have to practice. Then you be assertive in that. Listen to your intuition. When God, source, and spirit tell you that somebody is not for you, I'm feeling like you have the spiritual antennas where you can be like, oh, that's what you said? And when they say it, believe it and receive it and act on it. Because it's unlikely that niggle, it's unlikely that energy, it's unlikely that nudge is pushing you in the wrong direction. It's coming from within. And something that's coming from within, that means that it's been put on your heart. It's been placed on your spirit. It's been placed in you in order for you to create the boundaries outward to protect yourself. Self-preservation. When you hear that voice, trust in it. Those boundaries are meant to protect you. It's meant to protect you in your inner light. And some people are attracted to your inner light. Some people are attracted to what it is that you provide to them spiritually, not necessarily financially. Some people will come to feed off of your energy just to take it elsewhere and be abundant to other people. And then you're left feeling depleted. Protect your space, protect your energy, baby. Yeah. That's what I'm getting so far. Please give me insights and messages. Is this person meant? Is this person meant? Is this energy meant? Should we be cutting it away? Is this energy something that we should be looking around? Okay, I like when it happens like that. Give me a couple more messages. We'll go with those. A win-win outcome is in the forecast. I feel like you're balancing the situation out. Again, communicate clearly. Communication is key. Say what you mean what you say, and stand on it. Adjustments are required. Those that you see, those that you feel are not meant for you, that are not feeding into you the same energy that you're giving to them equally. Make adjustments. You can't always be feeding into a situation and getting nothing in return. If that's what you feel like you've been doing, then you need to remove yourself. That's not equal give and take. That's not a situation where where on the back end you're going to feel like, oh, I feel complete. I feel like I've been, receiving what it is that I should be out of this situation. You don't want to go into a situation and feel like you're giving everything and feel depleted at the end. That's not the way it works. A new start is coming. Prosperity lies ahead. Don't let pride get in your way. Now, we do know that timing is fluid. We do know that energy is fluid. So this could be meant for you or the other person. Take it as it resonates. And I'm speaking to you as if the message is directly to you. But if you on the other end, and this is like a cross-watcher type, take it as it resonates. What I like to say is what's meant for you is going to be for you, regardless of what. It doesn't matter who comes into the situation. It doesn't matter what decision it is that you make, whether you go left, whether you go right, whether you go up, whether you go down. Because a win-win outcome is what's meant for you. You've already done the inner work. You've already been manifesting it. You've already been calling it in. But the thing about it is, how you get there, how you get to that final destination, that is what is up to you. How fast you get there. You can take left or right, but if you go left, you be there within the next few months. You could go against the grain and go right, and the shit take you another 3 or 5 years, because you have to learn those karmic lessons. You have to go through it to understand it. You have to go through it enough times in order to be like, yeah, that's a trauma bond. That's a toxic situation. Yeah, this person came back into my life, but that's love bombing. So maybe they're not necessarily meant for me. Communicate what it is that you do want, don't want, and create those boundaries that we have already discussed, so that way you can already know, listen, I know what I am accepting, what I'm not accepting. And sometimes once you put that energy out, motherfuckers will just stop dealing with you, period, anyway, because they know that there's certain shit that you not. Oh, so you don't like me going out every weekend? Shit, I don't know if I can fuck with you then, because I like to be out in the streets. Adjustments are required. Adjustments are required for that person to make you more comfortable. Adjustments are required for you to make that person more comfortable. So maybe you may come to an understanding that you like, oh, well, okay, well, you can go out, every other weekend. But I like us time. I like bonding time. So, that off week, we gonna plan something for us. Those are the adjustments and boundaries that you set up. And if that person isn't willing to go along and get along with the boundaries that you set forth, then you have to reevaluate your situation to be like, well, maybe this ain't really going to work. And you have to stand firm in that. Yeah, I love you. But I love me and my boundaries much more. Because there's certain shit that I've been through. And there's certain shit that I will tolerate and that I won't. There's certain shit that I'm willing to accommodate and that I won't. So, you as a man, what I'm willing to accept, or what I'm willing to, you know, come to a middle ground on, is the fact that I know you like to go out. My profession, my reputation, whatever, what have you. I understand that you like to go out. I understand, you know, maybe once, you know, every 2 weeks, every other weekend, you know, I need that us time. But can you not be out in the streets looking like X, Y, and Z, or doing X, Y, and Z? And with this will cause a new start. Either this is going to cause a new start with the person it is that you're already with, for them to say, you know what, I can respect that. I can respect that because I'm respecting you and your boundaries. And I know how it is that you've come along and shit that you've been through in the past. So I can respect where you're coming from. I can understand and I can respect your perspective. This could be with the past energy, or it could just be a whole new start where the person is like, look, I like doing what I do when I do how I do it. If you ain't with that, then, you know, we're gonna have to part ways, because I'm not done my party phase. I'm not done being out here in these streets. I'm not done sowing my royal oats, so to speak. So if they're not willing to calm it down, they're not willing to create those boundaries, because I'm in the energy that you don't want somebody that's for everybody. We all like a little exclusivity. We all like somebody that's just for us. We all like to know that this is just my person. And you have to find somebody that reflects that back to you. The energy you're giving off, you want the same thing reciprocated. So a new start is coming. Now I will say this, it's a possibility that with this new start, it may be a tower moment. It may not be the person that you think it's going to be, because of the fact that you're going to create these boundaries. But with that, you have to stand firm. Prosperity lies ahead. But I'm seeing this as the Taurus, the bull being stubborn. That you're going to stand steadfast in what it is that you want. And sometimes you have to do that. Sometimes there's certain aspects of a person that we like. Sometimes there's certain aspects of a person that we love. But the fact of the matter is that our self-respect, our self-love should always be higher than that of something that we place on somebody else, of the energy that we place into someone else. Nobody's going to protect you. Nobody's going to love you more than you love yourself. And if you do, that's a toxic ass situation. But in the same token, don't let pride get in your way. Don't feel like, oh, well, I heard this and I heard that. No, get your own clarification. Get your own clarification as to what's going on and how you feel about the situation, and to whether or not you want to proceed with that. Don't let other people determine that, because you don't want to live in that regret that you took somebody else's word for it, or that you took somebody that told you, oh, she was out, boop, 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 boop. No, because that could be a hating ass motherfucker. It really could be. It's happened a lot of times. And your commitment is definitely being tested. But I feel like it's not necessarily a commitment to someone else. I feel like it's a commitment to yourself. That should always take precedence. That should always take priority over anything. Anything. Yes, you need to love your kids. Yes, you need to love your parents. Yes, you need to love God. All of those things. But you need, because when you are being truthful with yourself, when you're being committed to yourself, you're honoring God by doing that. You are his creation. And since you are that, you respecting yourself, you honoring yourself, you honoring your boundaries, you respecting what it is that you hold highest value on. That's you respecting him. Create those boundaries. Reinforce those boundaries. And do what's in your greatest and highest possible good. Give me a couple more messages. This person meant. Is this a long-term person? Is this a long time or a good time? G. Listen. Message that came through. I said, is this a good time, long time, or a good time? I'm just going in order that the cards came out. No. I feel like this is not a long-term situation. We do have improving health. Reconsider in a year from now. So look at this in two different ways. First way, take it as it resonates. No, I feel like this is not your person. But when they decide that they want to introduce themselves into the growing and healing process, that's when they will be meant for you. That's when they will be able to offer you this cup of love. Reconsider your options right now. Communication is going to come in. The sword, that means communication. I feel like communication is going to come in. I feel like from this person, you may not want to communicate with them, but reconsider what your options are. Reconsider how it is that you would normally address the situation. If you would address it in a toxic way, if you would address it in an aggressive way, don't do that. Because they can't help the growth process it is that they're going through. But I feel like they will possibly be ready a year from now. And a year seems like a long time, but it's really fucking not. The older I get, the more I realize it's not. It's right around the fucking corner. Right around the corner. Or I'm really feeling like it all depends on how you decide to treat the situation or how they come back to you. This person returns and they're in the energy where it's, I want to get my life together. You know, I really don't want to be out here like partying and, you know, I'm really ready to settle down. This is the second portion of how I'm interpreting this. First way was the first read. First read is no, they come back to you, they're like, nah, I'm my own person. I'm trying to do what it is I feel like doing, and you can't tell me what to do. That's the first one. This one, no. Still no. This person is not here for a long time. They're here for a good time. So I feel like you two enjoy yourselves on a physical level. Right? But this allows you to replenish each other. Sometimes you need downtime. But by reconsidering or reevaluating or not cutting this person off immediately, it's going to cause, it will trigger them into the change it is that they need. Changing it into this improved health. Making them reevaluate their life decisions and what they've been doing so far. And still, I feel like a year from now, that this person is going to evolve into the energy it is that you want them to be. The energy it is that you've been searching for. That's what I'm feeling like. I feel like they're not who you want them to be right now, but I also feel like they haven't evolved at the same pace it is that you have. So maybe their life situations have been slightly different and haven't pushed them into that growth process. So they're it's a little lag time, but it's in the process, it's in the making. Now, whether or not that you want to wait for that, that's a whole different ball game. Because with the sword down, I'm feeling like, no, you're not trying to wait for that. And if you're not trying to wait for that, then you need to create those boundaries and make them firm. regardless of what, the opportunity of abundance is going to be presented to you. Whether it be this person or another person, you're still going to receive that love it is that you want, the energy it is that you want. But will you look at this later as a missed opportunity? It's a possibility, or they will. Like, you could always be the one that got away, or they could always be the one that got away. But it's all up to whether or not you want to actually take that additional time to give this person time to catch up to where, I'm not even going to say catch up, because I don't feel like that they will ever catch up to where you are, because your growth process is different. Your clarity level is different. What it is that you're looking for is different. But if you want to wait for them to become more evolved to what it is that's actually going on, you're going to have to wait. And if you want to wait, then that's what you can do. And at that time, they will possibly be in the headspace that you are now then. Get one more card and then we'll close this out. Can I get a yes or no? Is this the one? The abundance still came out. So whether it's financial, whether it's love, that's what you're calling in. But also, by keeping your energy sacred, you're also calling it in. And you'll recover from the situation. And there is romance. So this romance within the next 2 weeks. Next few weeks. Possibly too. So I feel like within the next few weeks, you're going to be calling in some new energy. You're going to be, somebody else will possibly approach you, or you will approach them. And maybe you'll see abundance with this person. Maybe you'll feel like they're on the same spiritual level as you are. Maybe you'll feel like they're on the same financial level that you are. Maybe you'll feel like, okay, this is something that I've been calling in. Maybe it's somebody from the past. Maybe it's somebody that you've never met before. But this person is going to cause you to recover from whatever trauma it is that you've already gone through. So I feel like the first person who you were inquiring about could be the person for you. But even if you decide to not wait, not stay stagnant in that energy to wait for them to get their shit together, there's like a meantime, in between time person or situation that will present itself. And it's going to be abundant. And it's going to be romantic. And it's going to give you healing from what it is that you've been through already. Let me get one more oracle messages. I just want you to know these are all oracle messages. I didn't even pull a tarot card for you yet. And I don't feel like you need one. I feel like this is maximum clarity. I get one message regarding love. You pull this last card and then we'll be finished. Oh, you see how that came flying out? Unbound. Releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. So matter of fact, I'm gonna read it right from the book. I'm not even gonna give an interpretation. I felt like you need this, so I'm gonna give it to you. Oh my gosh! In the ever unfolding rose, yo, I've gotten this like the last 4 times, and I love this card. Okay, so I'm gonna read both for you really quickly. The Unbound. Releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. It is time to release old soul stories that have been playing out in your life. They are coming up to be healed. There has never been a safer time to clear these patterns right now. Take a look at past patterns in your life that you are ready to release. Ancient vows and contracts that your soul made that have an expiry date. It could be a vow of silence or chastity or private poverty. It is time to unwind from them. This is the life in which you free yourself from trauma of past lives. What old ways of being have an expiry date? When you name them, you claim them, and they stop holding power over you. Then, acknowledging these old patterns, it is also important to acknowledge how they have served you up until now. For example, a soul pattern of playing small caused by soul fear of being seen or sharing your voice would have served you by keeping you safe. In order to grow, you now need to soften by receiving and calling in support. It is time to unbind from old ways of being that are no longer sustainable. Unbound. To me, I feel like this is releasing, like they said, old soul patterns, but I feel like it's also like releasing ancestor, like binding contracts that they had. Like when you release those contracts, it allows you to be your greatest possible self. And I feel like something that was hidden is now clear to you. And once you gain that clarity, you will feel released. You'll feel like you can do whatever it is that you feel like doing. Whatever the reason is that you felt like you were bound to certain things, that clarity is coming. And once it's crystal clear, you'll be moving forward and leaving things that no longer serve you behind. The ever unfolding rose. Cracked open. It's happening for you, not to you. The challenge of life is to keep your heart open when you most want to close it. To let life crack you open, to open through hurt and loss, to allow what is falling away to fall away. Being human is a courageous act. A life we lived in is full of losses and tragedies, as much as triumphs and adventures. Wherever you find yourself at this moment, life is coaxing you to keep your heart open, no matter how much it hurts, to continually unfold, to let life crack you open. Perhaps you're going through a difficult time right now. Instead of cursing the difficulty, see it as a blessing. To open yourself up to the truth that perhaps as hard as it may be, life is happening for you and not to you. And one day, in the not too distant future, you may be just blessed in the thing that broke you down and cracked you open because the world needs you open. Now is the time to go gently, to treat yourself like a tender, sweet baby, to wrap yourself in a blanket and trust the mother that has cradled you in their arms. The seas may not all be smooth sailing, but you are safe and you are held. One day in the not too far from today, you will look back at the transformation and be blown away by the poetry of life. Everything is going to be okay. Regardless of what was meant for you, it's going to be meant for you. And whatever path it is that you decide to take, all roads lead to Rome. So wherever it is you're supposed to go, you're going to end up. It just depends on how fast you're going to get there. I hope this was helpful. I hope this was insightful. I hope it gave you some direction to what's going on. I wish you light, peace, love, blessings, and abundance. Feel free to message me if you need a little more clarity. Happy Sunday. Bye-bye.